Hello, I wanted to continue talking about my opinion on Rurouni Kenshin, what I said in the previous video. So in the previous video, I said that the creation is inherent to the creator. It is, at least in some form, a reflection of the creator because it's imagined by the creator. Which I guess is the real crux of my disappointment with Rurouni Kenshin because the story itself is so powerful and so pure. There are so many powerful quotes you can learn from and use as motivation in our daily lives. How can a story like this be created by a human being like that? So maybe it is possible for a creator to create something that is completely far removed from their most disgusting desires, as I have outlined in the previous video. But that's not the main topic of this video. The main topic of this video is how ass the third act was. So it's 120 episodes. The first 90 or so are very coherent. At the end of the second act, Kenshin is secure in his role as a protector. He even unlocks a secret move that can pretty much kill everyone in one hit. It's all based in Japan. You have him fighting his old enemies. Wonderful. The third act, however, such a full body for this. The full act, however, is horrible because for some reason you go from fighting ninjas and other samurai or ronin and all that stuff to fighting a fucking idiot on a chariot with a lance. So you have Kenshin standing in the middle with his little katana with a dull blade as this guy on a chariot runs around in circles around him with a flaming lance. And obviously Kenshin is no match for a fucking horse, right? Or actually he should be. And the whole idea is that, Kenshin has finally encountered an undefeatable foe. And it's just fucking stupid. He waves his sword around, right? Obviously nothing hits because he's fighting basically Ghost Rider over here, and it comes from nowhere. There's no setup. The church is a big theme. The chariot rider is an emissary of the church, and he is dropped into the story, and he's basically unbeatable, and he's apparently the brother of Kenshin, which is completely out of the left field, which is still fine because Kenshin does defeat him at some point. And the story settles down. He's like, retirement, finally I'm done. All my old enemies are vanquished or have forgiven me or yada yada yada. And then he fucking dies of AIDS. Like, what the fuck? So, he gets weaker throughout the story of the third act because he has he literally has an STD. And he has red spots all over his body. He can't swing a sword as well. He has his adopted son who he refuses to teach the art that he has been learning the whole time, and Kaoru, the girl that he has been taking care of the whole time, says, "I don't care if you have an STD. I would have a kid with you anyways." And they have a child, and Kenshin fucking dies because he has an STD after the child's born. So does Kaoru, I think, and who takes care of Kenshin's son? It's not his adopted son. It's Kenshin's master who comes from Osaka and goes, "Alright, yeah, I'll take over your son." He doesn't teach, he kind of teaches Kenshin's techniques, which, he taught Kenshin to begin with, to his actual son. But at the end of the story, you see that Kenshin's adopted son, who experienced the whole story with Kenshin, he easily defeats Kenshin's actual son, which is, I think, a good message because his way of swordsmanship is noble, and it's developed by Kaoru's parents and taught by Kaoru. So for such a noble sword style to defeat the once brutal and very effective killing method of Kenshin's swordsmanship style is a great message. But the fucking steps it took to get to this point, holy shit, man. You go from fighting old enemies, old friends, old adversaries, overcoming challenges, to fighting the fucking church on a chariot, and then he dies of an STD, and then to give birth to an ungrateful son is pretty fucking stupid. So, sure, the story is great up until a certain point, and yeah, the creator's a pedophile. That's all I have to say. Thank you for listening. I'll see you in the next one.